Officials in Ukraine say that they're preparing for around half the population to need mental health support in the coming months. That's as a result of Russia's full-scale invasion last year. It comes as the country's health system is already under strain, with doctors having to prioritise patients with physical injuries from the fighting. Our Ukraine correspondent James Waterhouse has more on this from Kyiv.
This is a background crisis for Ukraine. If you look at hospitals across the east, you will see civilians and soldiers being treated for physical injuries, as you say. The most common ones you come across are those with missing limbs, through either getting caught in the fighting or engaging in the battles themselves. The thought from some military circles is that it will take up to 20 years to mentally rehabilitate an entire population. We've taken a look at Ukraine's growing crisis.
These are the realities of resisting Russia's invasion. And for a soldier recently out from the front line, there is often a darkness etched across the eyes, a marking from sights previously seen. Dimitro has fought for the past 15 months. He's at a recovery centre in northeastern Ukraine with his wife Tetiana, who's travelled 600 miles to be with him.
We'll
suffer the consequences for the rest of our lives. When you go to bed, you see it. The pain, the comrades I lost, how I pulled them out with no limbs, how they died in my arms. This will stay with us for the rest of our lives.
Around 2,000 Ukrainian soldiers came here for counselling and physiotherapy last year. But this is just respite. Most go back to fight after a week.
He has changed a lot. He proved he was capable of many things. Protecting us, standing up for Ukraine. I can't find the words to describe it.
It's soon time to say goodbye. One goes home and the other to the front. The weight of this war isn't contained to the trenches. Ukraine is looking at the whole population.
We're preparing our health sector to provide quality psychological services for 15 million people. We hope it will not be needed by every second person, but we're convinced the system should be ready to react.
With a lack of psychologists, the emphasis is on self-care. For this class in Kharkiv, it means body therapy, where they share feelings before exploring touch and movement to heal. Yevhen became a war photographer at the start of the conflict.
I've had to become highly focused on the present. You need to when you are living through war. And the movement skills I've picked up in the class, I can use them when I am on the front lines under shelling.
Whether in Kharkiv, here in Kyiv, or anywhere across the country, millions of Ukrainians have reported a deterioration in their mental health. So that's anxiety, stress, depression. Now, the state says it's doing what it can, but this is a growing problem affecting all generations.
And because of the ongoing war and the very nature of mental health, it's likely to be a long time before the full impact is realised.
Authorities are worried about post-traumatic stress disorder, the cases of that increasing in the coming years. At the moment, depression and anxiety disorders are the most prevalent. But as you saw there, we're not just talking about frontline soldiers, but emergency workers and civilians in general who are living with this constant threat. And the path to recovery or rehabilitation is made all the more difficult with this ongoing conflict.